Okay, my cooker hood is not working. There's no lights that are coming on. It's basically, it got wet. The flue must have let in water when it was raining really heavily and it's blown the electrics. So I'm just going to try and sort it out. I might even have to buy new components. It might even be just cheaper just to buy a new cooker hood. So let's have a look, let's investigate it, and then if needed, I'll change the cooker hood. Okay, to take this section off, I'll undo the filters, I'll take those off, and I think there's some retaining screws inside. Yeah, you can just see there's some retaining screws in there. Okay, now it's time to investigate this. What is going on here? I'm going to undo it. Well, first of all, I'm going to turn the power off, and then I'm going to undo it and investigate what's going on. I'm going to use a proper connector block and then rewire it and see how it goes. I'll turn the power off from the main junction box from my house. Well, it has got a connector block on it already. Okay, I'm going to undo this and I'm going to test out the cooker hood. I'm going to plug it in to a plug just to see that it's just not the wire source where the problem lies. Okay, that's the power from the house, and I'll just put this in a bag actually out of the way, and then I can turn the power back on. And then what I'll do with this bit is, this is going to the cooker hood. I'm going to just put a plug into it, wire a plug up, and then just check this out. Okay, that's a plug wired in. Let's test it out and see if the cooker hood works. Okay, let's plug this into here and see if it works. No, it's not working at all. So that's totally dead. I think there's lots of components that have gone in that, so I may as well replace the whole cooker hood. Okay, the flue is unattached and the screws are all out, and I think now it just unhooks. There must be a bracket behind there. Let's find out. Okay, we've bought a new cooker hood to replace the old one. We've got a black one this time, only because it was so much cheaper. So the old one, the Smeg one, was between £700 and £900. This one was £189. Just made sure it was 110 centimeters wide, and then the height of the flue matches the height here. Okay, this is it. I'll just measure it all up and make sure that the brackets and the fixtures and fittings are the same. It just hooks on and then screws into the wall. I'll make sure all my measurements match the new cooker hood. Okay, now to attach this bracket to the top here for the top of the flue cover. I'm going to measure and mark up exactly where I need to drill my holes for the raw plugs to go in. I've got the raw plugs and screws ready to go, and I've got my masonry drill bit ready for the drill. Okay, now I'm going to hold the bracket up to this section here, mark it up where I need the holes to be drilled, and then drill it. Okay, now the raw plugs. Just give them a tap in. Now the bracket and the screws. Make sure it's all lined up and then screw it in. Okay, that's the bracket up, and I've put some more tape, some more gaffer tape around the top as I could feel that there was a draft, which should also mean that a potential leak could come through as well. Okay, now I'm going to measure up these holes and these holes ready for the brackets to hold it in place. This is the bracket that goes onto the wall, which takes the main weight. It basically fits into this bit like a hanger. So I'll just measure it all up, ready to go. I'm not just going to measure from here to here, but I'm going to have to measure the bracket as well, because that is where the holes in the wall need to be drilled, here or here. So I'll measure from here down to the bottom of the cooker hood. Okay, I've marked a central line on the wall so I know exactly where the centre is, and I'll take all my measurements off that. These holes are 20 centimetres apart, so what I've done is to measure on the wall 20 centimetres, they're 20 centimetres apart, and I've just taken then the measurement from the centre to there, 10 centimetres, and then measured up to the point where I need to drill the holes. The holes are marked, and now it's ready to be drilled with my masonry drill bit. A little tip, I'm going to catch the dust in a dustpan. Raw plugs are now going in, and then just tap them in. Okay, now to put this on, do the holes measure up? Yeah, perfectly. Okay, that's all the holes drilled. Now let's see if the cooker hood fits. It will just hang onto the hangers there, and then I need to then fix it with a couple of other fixings that go in there. Okay, that's the flue attached. It must be a standard fitting. I was able to use the existing fitting and it just slotted on. Now, just to connect the electricity. I'll turn the power off again and then connect it. Okay, now I'll turn the power off. Okay, that's all wired up. Now it's time to test it. Make sure it works. I'll turn the power back on. Okay, let's see if it works. I'll test the light first. Yes, we have power. Okay, now let's test the fans. Yes, it works. And it seems to be drawing air out okay. Okay, now for the flue cover. Okay, those screws are now attached to hold the flue firmly in place. They're just attached to the bracket that's behind. Well, that's working well. It didn't take too long. It took about 2.5 hours to do it. If you're going to fix one yourself, I'd say go for it. As a DIYer, all you need to do is make sure that your measurements are accurate. You're able to drill holes in the wall and fit raw plugs, and also isolate the electrics when you're fitting it to your connection block. So that's it. Thanks for watching, and remember to subscribe for some more DIY videos.